You want to know 3 negotiating secrets that'll help you in business and in sales? Stick around and I'll show you. So, what are these 3 negotiating secrets? Well, we'll dive straight in, guys. Don't want to keep you waiting. Number 1 is having the ability to say no. Everyone in sales knows that if you have the ability to walk away, it puts you in the strongest position of power. That goes in life and without saying. If you have the ability to walk away from something, if it's not where you want it to be in life, negotiation, business, in sales, if you can simply walk away because you either know the deal's not right or that you have the mentality that it doesn't need to be done right this second, you can walk in that meeting, you introduce yourself, you meet that person, you find a little bit more about them, and then you go, you know what, let's reschedule this for next week. Or you go, all right, thank you, I've got everything I need, I'll be in touch. That person will leave there thinking, going, I was expecting the deal to be done today. Maybe he's not that interested. You come across as you're not needy. You don't need this deal, okay? And that puts you in a position of power, puts you up here rather than being down here, okay? So that's very, very important. Have the ability to say no. If you can walk away from a deal, it puts you in the best position of power, and you don't come across as a needy salesman, and that you don't need, or in business, and that you do not need this deal right this second, okay? Because if someone can sense, people will sense the fact that, he's wanting to do a deal right now. A lot of people walk into business interactions and they'll want to come in and they'll start this transaction straight away. They won't even encourage banter. They won't even talk to the person for 5-10 minutes, get to know them, get in. They want to get in, they want to get out and do the deal, be done with it. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people want to come in, they want to meet you, they want to talk to you, they want to find out what you're about. So remember, guys, have the ability to walk away and say no. It'll put you in the position of power. Secret number 2, which is finding out what motivates this person or this particular company that you're doing business with. And it's not just, I need this price. They might just say, I'm not settling with you unless you mean like 400,000 or 4 million. If we can't get that, no deal. Instead of taking that as, okay, well, we can't do that, so the deal's over, dig a little deeper. Find out, why do they need that price? Why are they asking for that price? Is it because they have a deadline to meet? Is it because they need funding? Is it because they're behind in sales for the month? It could be multiple different reasons. And so if you do your due diligence right then and there and you start asking questions, well, okay, do you mind telling me why you need that money? Is it because of terms? Is there a way we can negotiate that money that you need? Can we do payment terms? Can we do this or can we do that? Dig a little bit deeper, guys. If you take your time and do your research on this company or on this particular person before you go into this business transaction or into this negotiation, you're putting yourself a little step above them. And in business, an inch can give you a mile. So remember that. The next time you go into negotiation with someone, make sure you've done some homework with them and on the business, on the company, past deal transactions that they've done. Ask around. You'll be surprised. You might actually know someone that's done business with this person, and I'm like, he's a complete hard ass on money and on price point. But if you hit him hard enough, or if you keep pushing and you pinpoint what he needs, or I did the deal by structuring it this way and I did this with him, you never know what you're going to find. So always find out what the hidden motive is for the particular person or the business, and you'll be surprised that what they're telling you is they're just putting up a wall. And it's not really what they need. What they need is actually something completely different and what you never would have thought. Okay, it's happened to me a million times where someone's asked for something and they said, I will not do this deal unless I get this particular thing. And you go, okay, well, why do you need that? And they go, well, actually it's because of finance, or it's actually because, I'm being pressured to get this or to get that for the end of month, or it could be a million different reasons. So just do your homework, find out why they need what they need, and you'll be surprised with the answer you get. And you'll actually come from a place of caring rather than a place of, I need to do this deal right now, or, I can't negotiate with you, okay? And in the long term, that's a good thing to have that mindset and that mentality. So number 3, which is ask for the world. Okay, now you might be going, what are you talking about? When I say ask for the world, what that simply means is when you're going to negotiation, you'll have in your head what you want and what you need, But when they ask the question of, okay, well, we want to do X, Y, Z, and you go, I'll do X, Y, Z if I get this one thing, or I might get A, B, C, or I need this, I need that. So rather than going in and asking for what you want, if you ask for a little bit more, they might originally freak out in the transaction. However, they will probably meet you halfway, and you might get a third of what you want, or you might even get half. You never know, you might even get all of it. But what I'm trying to say to you is that when you're doing this, you need to make sure that you're asking for a little bit more than what you originally thought you were going to get, or what you originally wanted. And what that does is the person will go, okay, they're asking for this, 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 and this, but we can't do that, but we can do this and that, and maybe a little bit of this, and maybe we can chuck in a little bit of extra, or whatever that might be with that business transaction. And this happened to me last month with a client, and just by pushing that little hard, and it's not because you're trying to get more, it simply means that you're putting yourself in a better position of power coming to the negotiation, so that when they try to cut back on whatever it is that you're asking for, you're still getting what you want, okay? And it's coming from a place of abundance as well. So rather than saying, I need this one thing, they're not gonna go, oh, okay, well, geez, he's not asking for much, he just needs that. No, we can do that, that's fine, no problem. So it's very, very important that when you're coming to negotiations, that whatever it is that you're wanting, you have that in your head. Maybe even write that down, work out before you go on the meeting, or a week or prior before, and actually write these things down and go, okay, I need, let's say you're buying a property and you go, I need stamp duty, I need a rental guarantee, and I need a rebate. Well, you might only need one of those things, but go in there and maybe ask for a little bit extra. And what you'll find is, if you're asking for 4 things, they might give you 2 of them. They might give you 3 of them. You don't know. But what you're doing is you're coming into this meeting from a place of abundance. And then what will happen in business is people normally go, well, we can't give you all that. That's too much, but we can do this and this, or we can do this and that. Okay? And if you can go into the meeting knowing that you don't need to win everything, the other person can win in the transaction as well, that is fantastic for the long term, and the person you're doing business with will most likely want to do business with you again, because you are able to take a hit on what you wanted. Okay, so when you're going in there, have the mindset that if you can win and they can win at the same time, that's great, because for the long term, the business relationship is only going to build. It's going to get better and better and better. And not only that, but as you're doing business for the long term, you both already know what each other is like, what the company is like, how you do business, whether it's, oh, we always go and meet for a coffee down at the cafe shop, or he always comes to my office, or, once a fortnight we go out to dinner and we talk business and we talk football, or whatever the case is. But if you can go in there with asking for the world, so if you only need one thing, go and ask for 4, because you might get 2, okay? But at the same time, you're taking a hit on what you want simply because you're able to, okay? And because you're saying to that other person that, hey, I can take a hit, they can take a hit, we can meet halfway and we can do business. And that's great, that's fantastic, because then for the long term, that relationship is going to do well. But for the short term, if you go in there thinking, I need to win everything, I need everything, or else this is not going to happen, they might do business with you that one time, but after that, they're going to see your name, it's going to come up again somewhere, and they're going to go, oh no, that bloke's too much hard work, or she's too hard to work with, I want nothing to do with that. Okay, so come in, ask for the world, but also have the mentality that you don't need to get everything you want, okay? Because if they're meeting you halfway, you need to meet them halfway, okay? That is normally how it works in business. So guys, I hope that's been helpful. So just to rehash over the 3 things, one was start with no. So be able to walk away, come from the strongest position of power in negotiations. You don't need to do the deal right now today. You can be done in a week's time. Sometimes it takes a month. I've had business transactions that have taken upwards of 6 months to do, okay? Second one is always find the hidden motive for the person. Find out what makes them tick. Find out why they would do something, what motivates them in terms of when you go into negotiation, okay? And 3, as we just ask for the world, but also for the long term of the business relationship and for the sake of that relationship, meet them halfway if they're meeting you halfway. Hope it's been helpful, guys. Talk soon.